Oh, you haven't done the intro yet. We can't talk about anything until you do the intro.
Yeah, I just did the intro, bro.
That was the lamest intro ever.
Hey, yo, what's up? What's cracking? What's papa-locking? What's crickety clacketing? What is the going? What's going on? How's poppin'?
I had an answer and then I said that wasn't the intro, and now it left my head.
Gone, reduced to atoms.
It is reduced to atoms. Or where do thoughts go once you don't think about them anymore?
Satan's left ass cheek.
Not what I meant. I meant, do they become just dissipated electrons? Like where do the neurons that form the thoughts go after you no longer need them?
Satan's left ass cheek. I already said that, bro.
How's it going? I have had no free time in the last like 4 days. It's been great.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I had 3 8-hour shifts. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, back to back to back. Janitor duty on 2 of them, and then I had to be register on the middle one. It was a pain.
You're one position for 8 hours? That's cringe.
It's usually easiest if you don't have people switching positions all the time, so that way especially during like rush hour,
Hmm.
you can just be like, I know that this person is on drinks unless they're on a break for the entire thing. It makes it easier for communication.
So we don't get burnt out at Starbucks, well, what we used to do. I quit Starbucks, did I tell you that?
Yeah.
We switched it up every time we had a break, so every, 2 hours. And so it was good so you don't get burnt out and, hate your job. Which, I mean, I ended up hating my job anyway, but, whatever.
Separate reasons.
But, yeah, no, I work at now, I'm still being trained and everything.
I just graduated from training.
Wow, congratulations.
Now I get to do stuff unsupervised instead of having a babysitter follow me around.
Training is they tell you a little bit what to do, they tell you where to do the syrups and everything, and then they quote train you, quote. I just kinda watch you do it, and sometimes they just literally fucking leave, and then you just do it all yourself. Like, one time, my mom and dad came and visited me, and then the lady, training me, she's up and left, and then my dad was like, "Okay, I'm gonna be the most complicated thing ever so I can make you learn," and he ordered an Oreo milkshake. I didn't even fucking know they had Oreo milkshakes, right? And then I was like, "Uh," and I was BSing my way through, and I was looking through everything, and I was looking for the girl because I couldn't find the Oreos. I was looking for her, and I couldn't find her. She was in the other stand talking shit about me. On God. She was like, "She talks too much. And she talks too much to customers," and I'm like, "I'm a barista. That's just my job."
You should give some of your small talking skills to me because whenever they put me on like food delivery or something, when the food isn't done yet, I have to small talk with the customers. And if they are not wearing anything sports related, I have no small talk skills at all. If I do not see a hat or a jersey or anything else in their car that is sports related, I am just done for, and I just stand there in silence.
What you gotta do is gotta find a few quips and stories, like, "Do anything fun today?" And if they say no, you're like, "Oh, we love hanging out and chilling, like, I love watching this and that," or like, "Are you doing anything fun?" And they're like, "No," and I'm like, "Oh, when I'm bored, I like to go watch the Mariner," you know? You gotta have little quips and everything.
Good idea. Speaking of sports,
Sports. Imagine us actually talking about the Mariners on our podcast that is the Mariners podcast.
I know.
Wow, that's cringe.
Well, I mean, you have been gone for the last like week and a half-ish, right?
Yeah, a week.
You've been off in the worst state in the union, Oregon.
Not the worst state.
Hey, they are our state rival, okay?
No, no, no. They are the worst, sports state. But I think the worst state is Idaho. Oh my god, I think I made my uncle start listening to this podcast too. He lives in Idaho. I'm going on another tangent. Are you ready?
Yeah, I go on the tangent.
So apparently he is been into the Mariners a little bit and everything, and then he's like, "So what makes you think we're actually gonna win this year?" And I'm like, "Okay." I went on like a fucking rampage, dude. I talked the fastest I've talked that whole time, and I was like, "We've got great pitching, we've got great base hitting if we actually do it, if we got this and that and this and that, and then this and that." And then he was kind of scared, I think, of me. Which, I mean, I do the same thing at work. When anybody has a Mariners hat or something, I'm like, "You watch the M's game? Are you paying attention to them?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "This is our year. We have everybody. We just got Castillo. It's okay." I kind of went off at him and started half screaming at him because he was like, "Do you really think we're gonna do it? You really?" And I'm like, "Bitch, don't even start with me." I have a fucking podcast on this, dog. Don't even.
So your family reunion was just you ranting about the Mariners?
Yeah, that and then me going onto the beach and getting sand in every crevasse and getting sunburnt everywhere.
As one does. Are you truly enjoying the beach if you're not sunburnt?
Oh my god, I have some new, very, very fun tan lines, and it is rough. Because bright idea was like, let's wear for 5 days 5 different shirts that cover vastly different things. Because I have like random stripes on my back now.
Maybe you should document where the stripes are and you can make it like a shirt design or something.
I wore Razorback stuff. You probably don't know what that is.
I have no idea what that is. You are correct.
Crisscross back because I want to show off my tattoo.
So, a katana handle lacing pattern?
Yes. Sure.
So, you're talking about like X's like on top of each other, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the katana lacing pattern on the handle.
Okay. Okay.
I've been modeling an axe in Blender, so I have done a lot of research into handle lace patterns on weapons.
That was a good tangent, but let's actually talk about maybe baseball.
I know this podcast has been going on for, according to the timer, 7 minutes, and
Wow.
not a single word of baseball has been sent except for your tangent about how you like talking to customers about the Mariners. Does that sentence even make sense? I don't think it makes sense. So I was actually smart and I actually have a tab baseball related open.
Wow.
I know. I have the wild card standings and all the wild card stats up right now.
Cringe.
Cringe? I say intelligent.
No, not that. Cringe are the Mariners.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'm gonna start reading off a bunch of stats.
The fucking A's.
I know.
The Athletics. Oakland Athletics.
It makes me sad just thinking about it.
I want to go swim in a bath with a toaster.
Same. If we can't beat the Athletics in a series, what makes us think that we can win a playoff series?
No.
I just want to cry. Okay, anyways. So with the last 2 losses to the Oakland A's, the wild card standings are Tampa Bay has the number 1 spot, Toronto has the number 2 spot, and Seattle has the number 3 spot. Toronto and Tampa Bay both have 65 wins. Seattle has 66 wins. Both Tampa Bay and Toronto have 55 losses. Seattle has 56 losses. Because of the way math works, this means that Tampa Bay and Toronto have a winning percentage of 54.2, and the Mariners have a winning percentage of 54.1%.
Damn.
Yeah.
0.1.
In the last 10 games, the Tampa Bay Rays have been 7-3. They have been going on a little hot streak. The Toronto Blue Jays have finally gotten themselves out of their runt and are 5-5. And the Seattle Mariners have been hovering around a 500 with a 6-4 last 10. As said previously, Mariners are on a 2-game losing streak. The Rays are on a 2-game winning streak, and Toronto's on a 1-game losing streak. So, all in all, there are about 40-ish games left in the season, and the wild card race is so tight that I think it might go down to the final day in terms of standings.
Oh my god.
I know, it gives me goosebumps.
My heart can't take it.
And not only that, but Minnesota and Baltimore are both only 2.5 games behind us.
Oh my god.
And I'm pretty sure Minnesota has the tiebreaker on us. And I'm pretty sure we have the tiebreaker on Baltimore. I could be wrong.
My heart can't take it, dog.
I know. It's almost September baseball. All the Mariners need to do pretty much is stay at where they are right now and just go 500 the rest of the season. And pretty much they will make the playoffs if they do that. If they get a losing record, then and give the Twins or the Orioles just enough space in order to wiggle in, then we could see a losing streak that has gone on for so long that the people that were born the last time the Mariners were in the playoffs can now legally drink in the United States. In terms of run differentials, Toronto has the biggest run differential with plus 59. Tampa Bay is second with a plus 35, and Seattle is third with a plus 33. In terms of teams above 500, every single team that I just mentioned is pretty much around the same spot. So against teams above 500, Tampa Bay is 34 and 37. Toronto is 34-43, and the Mariners are 31-32. Actually, have a losing record against teams above 500.
Who are we playing next?
We are going to be playing the Nationals, I believe. A quick series against the Nationals, and then a series against the Guardians is next. That's our homestand. Yep, it is. We are going to be seeing on Tuesday Eric Fettel versus Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray has been falling off a cliff lately. I think he forgot how to pitch.
He needs tighter pants.
I think he does need tighter pants.
It's really funny how we explained to my mom the difference between the pitchers. We have Mr. Tight Pants, who's got his tight pants on, Robbie Ray, and you have the fugly one, Gilbert. Logan Gilbert is fucking fugly. Okay. And then the other one is just Marco. And then the other one is Flexen. And then we have Castillo, and my mom's always the closer Castillo or the opener Castillo.
Now I have to actually specify.
My favorite thing is when Castillo closed for Castillo. That made me so happy. I was filled with so much serotonin. That was a good day.
On the topic of pitching things, in the last 7 games, Robbie Ray's ERA has been 4.54. Could be a lot worse, but it also is not very good. Kirby has been emerging as our godsend pitching ace.
We need to have him more. Kick Marco out. I am done. Kick him out.
I'm also done because a few games ago, he allowed so many freaking runs. It was painful. So painful. He allowed like 4 runs in 1 inning, I believe.
And I think Brash was the one who went in and did an amazing strikeout. And then, what was the other one? I don't know. But Brash got the save.
Gonzalez got demolished. It's pain. And Flexen's in the bullpen now. He's a long reliever in the bullpen. So we're keeping Gonzalez in the rotation, and that just makes me sad. That makes me so sad. I think it was in the first episode where I said I would rather have Flexen consistently because he's more consistent. He's more consistently average. With Gonzalez, you're playing Russian roulette.
Yeah.
And we saw that a few games ago, which was sad. Gilbert has not fallen off a cliff as much as Robbie Ray has, but he hasn't been his Cy Young form he was in the beginning of the year. No Cy Young for him this year. I'm so sad.
F. Next year.
Eventually. Castillo was doing amazing until today.
Oh, I didn't watch today's game.
I was out of the house the entire day pretty much, so the only thing I can tell you is the box score. And he allowed 5 innings pitched, 8 hits allowed, 4 runs.
Oof. I mean, not terrible, but not good. What was the score?
The final score was 4-3. No, 5-3, I believe.
Oh, okay.
In order to add to my argument of why automated strike zone should be implemented, guess who got struck out because the umpire called a clear ball a strike? Mr. Ty France.
Oh, man. Oh, Francie.
Top of the 7th with 2 outs. Ty France goes. Julio's on second base. He's the tying run. And he takes a clear ball. Clear ball. And starts walking to first because it was a full count. And the umpire called him out. So add that to my argument for the automatic strike zone. The human element dramatically changed the outcome of a baseball game.
I'm leaving it there. I'm not going to argue with you today on that.
We got a few more memories to go down, mainly follow up on the Mr. Kelly situation.
Yes.
You remember how I said in the last episode, I joked and said by the time we record the next episode, he's going to be back down in AAA again, isn't he? And guess where he is? He's back down at AAA again.
I don't want to talk about it.
Well, too bad. We're going to talk about it anyways. We're going to make us sad because we are both Kelenic fans and he's
saddest of days.
I sent you an article. I don't know if you got around to reading it. I'm assuming you didn't. According to this article by Deadspin, he is a historically bad start. So through 494 plate appearances through the day of August 9th, Kelenic has slashed a .169, .249, .582 since being called up on May 13th, 2021. Kelenic has split time between the Major League Mariners and the AAA Rainiers, but no matter what they do, the Mariners cannot seem to fix Kelenic's broken swing. Of non-pitchers in MLB history with at least 490 plate appearances, Kelenic has the second worst batting average. The only player ever to record a lower batting average is former Phillies infielder and Cubs manager John Vukovich, who hit .161 across 607 plate appearances in the 70s.
That's rough.
That is very rough. Of the 70 players who have an average of 200 or worse of 490 plate appearances, 43 never made it or haven't made it yet to 1,000 plate appearances. The odds are not in his favor.
Yeah.
They were either pushed back into the minors permanently or forced into retirement. Kelenic could be among the 17 that did, but of those 17, only one, Lewis Brimston, was an outfielder. Most of the players who lasted in the majors with terrible hitting were catchers, which makes sense because catching is an important defensive position. Yeah. That's why people like Jeff Matzis lasted as long as he did, and while other guys just kind of died.
Eek. Well, I mean, Kelly's really, really good on his defense too. But I mean, he's an outfielder.
Yeah, an outfielder isn't expected to be an amazing defender.
They gotta hit.
Yeah, they gotta hit. And Kelnick can't hit. Big problem. Maybe we should transition him to catcher.
I don't know about that one, Chief. Okay, Cal is on crack cocaine, and I am here for it. Terrence,
Terenz is gone. He's in AAA.
who's the other catcher?
They signed a veteran guy off of waivers by the name of Castilli.
Oh,
He basically exists to give Raleigh an off day and a break because he's decently old. I forgot how old he is, but he isn't memorable. But with the Kelnick situation, do we just cut it? Do we never call him back up again?
I don't know, man. That's on Scott. My man has murdered my fucking heart. I have stood up for him in so many fights. Because I always say with everybody, I'm like, I believe in Kalanick, I believe in him. It's my boy. He can do it. He can do it. He can do it. But I've fallen and I've given up on my man's. I haven't given up yet. I'm almost there.
I'm gonna be off the Kelnick train. I'm officially off. I don't think he's gonna make it in the majors.
You should burn your jersey. That'd be really funny.
No, I spent so much money on that jersey. I spent like $50 on it.
How about I buy you a jersey and then we can burn that jersey?
What if you buy me a jersey and I get to keep the Kelnick one anyways?
No. That's not what's up, dog. No, we're gonna burn that. I wanna burn it. It'll be really funny. I burn a lot of things.
Wait, do you even have a Kelnick, like anything?
No. It was either a Kelenic or a Lewis jersey.
Both of which are in AAA.
Wait, oh, that's right. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, Kyle Lewis got sent down to AAA too. Isn't that amazing?
Ah!
We had 3 mega prospects come out from our farm system. Lewis, Kelnick, and Rodriguez. Only Rodriguez is actually living up to his potential. Kyle Lewis and Jared Kelnick are stuck in the minors and just making me cry.
Well, the thing about Kalu is he is good. He's just having an oopsie. You know, he's just getting back in his swing. Kelly's been, quote, getting back in his swing, quote, for 2 years. So,
Minus last September. If you ignore last September, then he's been awful.
but Kalu, he's only been back for a while. He's getting off injury. I'm giving him a bit more. We're not going to say he's a failure, but obviously Julio is the shining star. Julio's smile fills me with so much joy. I have him as my lock screen on my computer, and every time I open it up, I am so happy. I am just like perfection.
He really is. He's been balling so much, and he will take us to the promised land, unlike Jared Kelnick. So the odds are obviously not in Kelnick's favor. If a miracle occurs, I will be ecstatic. But I don't think I can defend Kelnick any longer with how many plate appearances he's had and how poor he's been this entire year. So yeah, I'm off the Kelnick train.
Gotta give me a little bit. See you next podcast. I'll probably be off, but I got a little bit of hope in me still. But I'm leaning off. One foot's off. One foot's dangling. She's swinging. She wants off.
I say just jump off now. He isn't going to be called up for the rest of the year because Sam Haggerty exists, and Sam Haggerty's been amazing.
I love Haggerty. He is. How can he keep number 0 as his jersey? I love it so much.
I love that his jersey number is just 0. He stole 2 bags today. He hurt his shoulder during warm-ups, so he wasn't allowed to bat, but he was allowed to pinch run.
Oh.
So Santana at the top of the 8th
Uh-huh.
drew a walk, and so they took out Santana and put in Haggerty. Haggerty turned around and immediately stole second base. Then he immediately turned around and stole third.
Yes.
Watching Sam Haggerty run the base paths gives me so much joy in my life.
Oh, yeah.
Just the threat of he can steal a bag whenever he wants,
Mhm.
and there's nothing you can do to stop him. Everybody knows that he's gonna steal a bag too. Like, everybody knows that he's gonna steal second, or he's gonna steal third, and even then, you can't stop him. It's beautiful. This must have been what people felt when watching Ricky Hendricks in the 80s. Just the threat of the steal always being there, knowing exactly what he's gonna do, and he still does it anyways.
I'm excited for when he steals home. That is what I need in my life.
In order to go to the playoffs, we need to win a game, and it's the bottom of the ninth. Sam Haggerty is on third, and the pitcher is a left-handed pitcher facing first base. Sam Haggerty bolts for home. The pitcher doesn't notice. The first baseman screams at the pitcher to turn around and throw at home. And when he does, the ball flies out of the pitcher's hand, nowhere near home plate, and Sam Haggerty scores the winning run.
Beauty.
I want that moment to happen now.
If only.
If only. If only Kelenic could have been like that.
Eek.
Sam Haggerty is a key component in our Chaos Ball, which, if you watched a game a few weeks ago versus the Yankees, you would know exactly what talking about. We claim Chaos Ball for all eternity. Game went to the bottom of the 13th. Explain the game, since you were the one who was showing all the emotions and I was falling asleep.
Explain the game. I'm not prepared. I don't have anything pulled up. I'm literally just here on my headset talking bullshit. So I'll give you my bullshit summary of the game. A fucking heart attack in a cup. That's what I'll give you. I woke up that morning really early and I skated early, and then I was watching and it just kept going to more and more innings, and I was like, I love my boys, just beat the crap out of the Yankees. But the craziest thing is this means we're like par or better than the Yankees. We don't think about the Athletics today because that didn't exist. But like, we beat the Yankees, right? And then we're making them do stupid shit, which we'll talk about next. The 13th, it was just absolutely fucking insane. It was a pitching show off, wasn't it? Castillo, the one who was it was Castillo.
Castillo versus Cole, round 2. And no Jared Kelenic to hit a 2-run homer.
Damn, it was beautiful. It was a really fun game. It was crazy and chaos, and it was bonkers. I should probably have gotten like a play-by-play thing up. That would have been smart. I'm here for jokes that aren't funny. You're here for the stats.
I'm here for going off of memory and doing terrible sports commentary. And also making very crappy jokes along the way.
Well, you're funny, but like, wait till we get somebody like funny. Have you? Yeah, you interacted with. We should get her on the podcast.
She should become a stand-up comedian, not even lying.
Yeah, on God, she should. No, she wants to be a evolutionary biologist, which my uncle, who believes in creationism.
That sounds like very fun family conversations.
Oh yeah, yeah, you betcha. Anyway, baseball.
More chaos ball in that game. The main play that was pure chaos was we had two batter innings because of the second base ghost runner rule. The first, or maybe the second, because the game was 2 weeks ago, and I forgot, not gonna lie, was Matt Brash was pitching, and he threw a ball, and the guy hit it back. And Matt Brash, when he was going through his follow-through, put his glove towards the ground, and the ball went into his glove. And so because of that, the runner on second didn't have enough time to go back to second. So he threw the ball to second, and they tagged him out there. And then they threw the ball to second base because the runner at first was still going to second base for some reason or another, after they were trying to tag out the runner going to third, and tagged him out. So there was a double play that ended the inning after only 2 batters.
Every single Mariners game is fucking crazy. It's either the best game ever, an absolute fucking shitstorm. They always make the weirdest shit happen, and I love it. But Jesus Christ, my heart hurts. Scott, please.
I think the Seahawks and the Mariners have contracts with all of Seattle hospitals to create as many heart attack situations as possible. Every single close game they have, they get a payment from the
The
hospitals.
Sounders too. It's just Seattle sports. Seattle sports in general.
It is the Seattle way. The only exception is our rugby team, who either blows the team out or gets blown out themselves. And there's no in between. Speaking of rugby, by the way, the MLR draft was last Thursday.
I barely know the rules to rugby, so I can't podcast with you on that one, Chief.
I know, I'm just going to go on a quick tangent. The MLR draft is almost as stupid as the MLB draft because there are very few teams in the MLR. There's only 15. So the rounds are really short, and there's 3 rounds. So the entire thing was over in an hour and a half, and the first round was broadcasted on Fox. So it was nationally televised on Fox. But the first round was only like 30 minutes long. So it was basically filler for the shows they had after and before. And the rest was streamed on the MLR streaming service for free to watch, which I love, by the way. Every single sport, please just make your streaming services free like MLR does. Please. I just want to watch the game wherever I go, please. And this is where my insane frustration with Major League Rugby's press, I guess, press media thing that they have annoys the hell out of me because I couldn't watch the MLR draft because I had to do physics class. And so I wanted to see who the Seawolves, Seattle's team, drafted. And I couldn't find the list anywhere. And this is during the draft. There is nothing on Twitter from the NFL teams. There's nothing on MLR teams. There's nothing on Instagram. There's no information at all. It's so annoying to find information on Major League Rugby. And I want to get into it. I really want to learn all the players' names and stuff. But it's so hard when there is no information. Imagine if the only way you could ever learn information about baseball was just by seeing every single event and then just memorizing what happened and remembering it. There's no articles on Google. There's no Twitter, anything. Like, imagine that. And that's what it is to try to follow Major League Rugby.
I wouldn't even try, man. That would stress me out too much. I've got a shitty memory, so.
Especially since I still needed to figure out like the lore of rugby because like American rugby is a very small portion of world rugby, which is so old and it spans so many countries. Anyways, back to baseball. That's tangent over. More chaos ball ensues with another inning in the Yankees game, again being a 2-batter inning with a double play with the ghost runner on second, where both of the runners ran out of the base running pads, which is a rule. I watch a lot of baseball and I don't see that rule ever called often. Usually they give the runner the benefit of the doubt, but they called the runner out on the base running pads twice.
Yeah, no, I've never seen that before. I only watch the Mariners baseball that much, so I only know them. I'm trying to expand out, but since I'm so busy. But yeah, no, just everything that the Mariners do is fucking chaotic, and I love it and everything. But like anything else, or is it ski of the daddle time?
There is one more thing on the list. Tatis Jr. got suspended for steroids.
I so don't know who that is.
What? You don't know who that is?
No.
Oh my gosh. Okay. He is the Padres shortstop. Well, he was the Padres shortstop, but he's been injured all year due to a motorcycle accident. And then he was about to start rehab in the minors, and then he got suspended for using steroids. He was one of the best young players in the league.
Not using him well enough. Like, Jesus.
At the beginning of the year, during the lockout, he was doing an interview after his motorcycle accident, and a reporter asked him what happened in the accident or something, and he said which one. So he's been in multiple motorcycle accidents, or car accidents for that matter, and used steroids.
Damn.
He got suspended for the rest of the season and basically the month of April for next season, I think, and May.
Okay, so my man is very, very metal, but like, come on, bro. If you want to actually be in the fucking Major League Baseball, you gotta actually play the part and not go ride your motorcycle around and all of that multiple times and then getting shot up with steroids. this steroids is hooking me all the way back to figure skating and how they abuse just drugs in general and everything, how the Atari girls do that. And it's like, you tell them it doesn't do much. Why would you do it? You know, there's always got to be some reason. Like, in skating, it's the endurance. It makes it so your endurance is really good. And here, what would it do? Build up your strength?
It makes it easier to hit homers, hit the ball harder because you're stronger, you got more muscle.
Did he think he wasn't gonna get caught or something?
Well, if you do it and you know it's against the rules, you probably think you're not gonna get caught.
Very small brain of him.
And he still got more suspension than any Astros player ever did for cheating in 2017.
MLB, you need to get your shit together, man.
Last year, it was the tar, like the pitching tar, the chaos that was enforcing that rule
Mm.
of no pitching tar. And now you have this thing where this guy does steroids and gets a massive suspension, and then the Astros got nothing in 2017. But that's the last thing on the list, except one more thing. Football season starting soon, almost September.
The thing is I've never really gotten into football.
I think that's a travesty. You need to get into football.
No, because football's a lot different than the Mariners. Because the Mariners, you can watch every Mariners game and you get it. You go around to all the different teams. I mean, I don't get to know the players, the names of the other players and such, but you get to know a bit. And I also watch some YouTube and stuff on baseball. But like football, you literally have to watch every single game. And in the fall, I'm so busy with skating, school, and work. I don't have enough time to watch all of that. It's like, especially Saturdays and Sundays, it's just work.
Let me get you into a secret. You don't watch all the football games. I know, right? So the main thing, which I wish baseball had as well, is that football, you have this glorious thing called red zone, where it takes the highlights in real time, by the way, in real time, takes the highlights of what's going on across the entire league and basically makes that the show. So if the Seahawks score a touchdown, then they would put the Seahawks scoring a touchdown on the thing. So you basically get to watch every single game at once. But you don't have to deal with all the downtime of the like yards, the running plays that went nowhere and stuff. So you get all the exciting stuff and you get to watch every single game and know what's happening across the league without having to watch every single game or watch hours of highlights.
We'll see what happens when fall comes, and I will see how busy I am, and maybe I'll get into football. But that is on a maybe. If my father listens to this podcast, this is not a token. Take away my free time and make it all filled with football knowledge. Also, football fans and everything. I know people listening are probably football fans. If anybody's listening, you know.
Last video got 6 views. I don't think anybody's listening.
Cause last year you were talking about sneaking stuff into Safeco Field, into T-Mobile Park. That was pretty sus.
It was. It was very sus.
Very, very sus. But we are good this time. We only talk about my weird relatives. It would be pretty funny if my uncle watched this. Let's hope he doesn't.
Oh, and hockey season starting soon as well. October's coming up, start of hockey season. I'm trying to get into hockey, but it's like rugby where it's like there's so much lore and stuff. Getting into any new thing is very hard to do, especially when in sports a lot of the knowledge that they talk about, they act like it's must know, everybody knows it. But if you don't know it, you're kind of screwed. So when I'm watching a hockey game, they're like, since the great blah blah blah, and I'm like, I've never heard of that guy in my life. He's from the 40s. What? Like, how? Why do you guys? What? You guys still hold people in high regard from the 40s? Which is kind of weird because, like in football, you only consider people like great since the about 70s ish, like pre 70s. You usually don't consider somebody great because the game has changed so much. In baseball, it's like hockey where you have the century-long history of great players. But the thing with baseball is that teams are really small. So the chances of you becoming a baseball history legend is pretty small. So like you got Babe Ruth and you got Willie Mays Ken Griffey Jr., Barry Bonds. Like there is a list, but it isn't as long as hockey because hockey has also, like football, changed so much in
Yeah.
the way it's organized and structured, but it also has some positions and ideas that are really old, like baseball, where like the goalie position hasn't really changed that much in hockey. So like you have great goalies going back to World War II and stuff. And it's so weird where you have like this modern age thing also conflicting with the great blah 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 from the 1940s. It's weird to me. I don't get it. It's really hard to remember everything.
Yeah, I've dabbled a little bit into hockey, but like, eh, again, eh. It's too much going on at once, and my attention span, I like to look at one thing and then hyperfixate and focus just on that one thing. And it moves so quickly. Like if you miss something, there was a penalty you missed over there, and then the whole game has changed because of that, or this and that. And
That's another good thing about baseball is that you can have it on as background and easily just fixate on different things.
yeah,
Because like you come back and it's still the same plate appearance and nothing has changed. And all you need to do is look at the count. And in hockey, if like you miss a penalty or whatever, and now everything has changed
yeah,
because they're on the power play, so they put out their power play unit front line, and now they have a different thing. And now there's a breakaway. Why did that breakaway happen? I have no idea. Where in baseball, like you look at the count, and you can obviously know how the count goes. And if something extraordinary like a long at bat is going, the announcer just says, and this at bat has been going on for like 10 pitches or whatever. But in hockey, it's like, oh, there's a breakaway. Wait, how did they get the penalty? What led to that penalty? How come they were over there in the first place? How come this guy's there? Who even is this guy? I've never heard of this guy. It's kind of hard to get into hockey, in my opinion. I don't know. My goal this season is to actually watch more Kraken games because last year I wanted to get into hockey as well. And then I watched like 3 games. I failed hard.
gotta watch a few more than that.
Yeah, in order to learn the lore of hockey, I think I need to watch more than 3 Krakens games, especially since the Kraken were so bad. I blame the fact that the Kraken were so bad, not my inability to schedule well and actually commit to doing something. I blame the Kraken being bad.
Oh, okay. So the thing about the Seattle sports is that's every sport. So if it's bad, you just gotta deal with it and then keep watching until they get good. If they get good. Until they get good.
I know that's how it's supposed to work, but the thing with me is like both me and you are extremely busy people, hence why this podcast takes a week and a half to edit and upload from the day we record it because I have so much going on. That if the team is doing bad and really poorly, I feel like there could be better time spent elsewhere than being sad and miserable about how the Mariners are sucking or the Seahawks are sucking and stuff. If I had all the time in the world and I didn't have to do anything, then I would happily watch every single Krakens game, Mariners game, Seahawks game, no matter how good or bad they are. But the problem is that I have so much stuff I need to prioritize. And watching the Mariners, well, not the Mariners anymore, but watching like this year the Seahawks get blown out because we are in a rebuild phase isn't that enticing. I'll probably still stick on the game anyways as background noise, but I probably am not going to pay really close attention to the Seahawks. I feel like every single podcast we've done has gotten shorter. So like the first one was an hour, and then last week was about 40 minutes, and I think this one after I edited it is going to be probably shorter than that. It's probably going to be around like 30.
Well, I mean, with my attention span, I like shorter podcasts anyway, so
There. And next one is going to be, let me see. Next recording time is going to be September.
ooh.
Yeah, it's going to be September either 2nd through 4th is when we're going to record the episode 4. So the start of September, baseball, wild card race is coming up. Football's starting. Even though I know you're not into football, I'm going to rant about it anyways because I can. It's my podcast too, god damn it.
Okay, okay. If you'd be in like that, I can talk about figure skaters. You better watch out.
Actually, I would love it if you talk about figure skating.
Really?
The only reason why is because I was watching this video on Buffalo Wild Wings, and the guy who founded Buffalo Wild Wings was a professional figure skater who wanted
Oh.
Yeah, who wanted to do something during the summer, like rinks, permanent rinks. So you had to wait
Mhm.
until winter. So he needed something to do this summer. So he started Buffalo Wild Wings. And because of Buffalo Wild Wings, he became a really influential business guy. And he got put onto the Olympic Committee for figure skating. And because of that, he got fired as the CEO of Buffalo Wild Wings because his attention span was divided between the ice skating thing and Buffalo Wild Wings. So there was a massive scandal in the 90s where he was trying to keep Buffalo Wild Wings while being on the Olympic skating committee. It was this entire thing, and it was so interesting to watch. You also have all the scandals too, like the 90s when the girl broke somebody else's leg so that she could win or something like that. I forgot what it was.
Girl, you be doing Tanya Harding bad. It was Tanya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan. Tanya Harding, it wasn't actually Tanya Harding. It was Tanya Harding's bodyguard who attacked Nancy Kerrigan with a lead pole and didn't break her legs. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I think it was just a small fracture, which she still competed in the Olympics, remember correctly. She still competed in some big event. But and then Tanya Harding had that whole big mental breakdown with the boots not fitting right and her lace is not working, and all that jazz. Don't make me start talking figure skating. I will get into the detail of every single Terry girl.
Next podcast is going to be the figure skating podcast. Since again, we're waiting for the final wild card race to heat up. Like trade deadline's over, filling in until October. We can have a figure skating podcast, figure skating filler.
Yeah, hey, it's not a filler. It's not a filler. It's not a filler episode. Come on.
Hey, technically this was a filler episode, okay?
I'll have my figure skating friends watch that, and then we'll have more people watching the podcast, probably only for that episode because they won't care about baseball at all. Whenever I post baseball things on my Instagram, they're like, "What the fuck? Like, what is this?"
The plan for next episode is you educate me on ice skating history and terminology and stuff and tactics.
All of that in one episode?
Okay, maybe we can split it off into multiple episodes, but at least cover ice skating history. I think that would be interesting. Watching me be like, what, how, why? And then maybe we can take turns, like, and then turn after that, I educate you on like American football history.
Okay, okay,
We could take turns splitting between our favorite sports that we actually do.
okay.
Well, I don't play American football, but like, I basically spend my life following American football in the fall. I don't think I ever not have football Twitter not open during the fall.
I better start pondering and thinking what I should be talking about.
The pressure's on.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's gonna be the best episode. It's gonna get the most views ever. It's gonna be bonkers.
Watch it actually get the most views. You gotta beat 31.
Oh, I will.
You gotta beat 31.
Yeah, I will. I have more figure skating friends than that.
Yeah, you could probably easily break 31, yeah.
I'll just force everybody I know and then make a bunch of alt accounts and watch it.
That's it. Plan. Next episode. Figure skating filler. We'll come up with a better name.
It's not a filler.
It's not a filler, but it is.
See you next week, muchachos. Adios.
2 weeks. It takes me 2 weeks to edit. Come on.
2 weeks. See you next 2 weeks, muchachos. Adios.